Hello everyone.
Uh, uh, Dr. Rajiv Pandey.
Hi, Mr. Dhanjay. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you, sir. It is good to have you. It is a privilege for all of us to have you over here.
Yes,
And I
thank you.
must thank you. I must thank you for taking out the time, sir. And there are a lot of questions which the students were asking, and I have answered half of them, and other half are still pending.
Okay,
So,
sure.
so I will read the question for you, sir, and
Mhm.
then you can continue with whatever gyan you can give in the next 10 minutes. We will be greatly obliged if you can share your experiences or knowledge to all the students. There are a lot of students right now over here at the moment, so
Mhm.
they will all be happy to hear you.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, so just to introduce Dr. Pandey to everybody, he is the director admissions and he holds many positions at Spartan Health Science University. And you are free to ask as many questions as you want. Dr. Pandey, I don't know whether you are in a position to read the question bank. Are you in a position to read? If you can click on the question handle, or else
Okay,
I will read all the questions for you.
okay, let me expand that one. The last one I think I answered.
Uh,
Uh, Last one, how much percentage of the student get to the PG by clearing the step 1 and step 2 CKCS? That was the last question.
Sir, I will go by the bottom one.
Okay,
Go from the bottom. There is one question from Apurup Reddy. I have just completed my MBBS. Okay, Apurup नहीं, आप तो डॉक्टर बन गए हो. I don't want to. Akriti Avisthi is there. She is asking. I will read the question for you, sir.
yeah, sure, sure.
If I don't want to waste a year after my MBBS, so when should I start preparing for USMLE? When should I give step 1 exam for that?
Okay, usually our students don't waste the year for the USMLE preparation because our course structure is designed in such a way where you are going to get prepared for the USMLE from the day one. Apart from that one, the MD5, the fifth trimester of the MD5 is only for the preparation of the USMLE. And as per the rules, you're supposed to take the USMLE exams within the 4 months of the time as soon as you are going to complete your MD5. Okay? You're not supposed to wait for a year for this condition. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, there is one more question. This is from Najib Anzar.
Yes,
He is
sure.
asking Spartan Medical College record of qualifying USMLE. How many people? I think what he wants to ask is what is the past history of clearing USMLE and reaching to residencies and then active physicians. Sir, आप एक काम थोड़ा help कर सकते हैं तो पूरा Spartan का history and whatever is the whatever it has done well for the students, if you can share that with us.
Okay, let me tell about the graduation rate. Okay, so Spartan is there actually from the last 38 years now. Okay, is it fine in the English or shall I go with the Hindi as well?
हाँ जी सर.
Shall I go with the Hindi or English is fine?
नहीं सर, आप अपने हिसाब से आप सब कुछ बना लो. अभी मैं क्वेश्चन पे नहीं जा रहा हूँ. आई थिंक मेनी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस आर कॉमन, सो
मैं
you
क्या
can
कह
just
रहा हूँ?
share
Shall I talk
everything
in
that the
Hindi
Spartan
or
offers
shall
to
I
the
talk in
student.
English?
So you can go ahead with your answers on that, sir. On your own. There are many questions, but you
Okay.
can go on your own to tell about the Spartan.
Okay, let me say we have 2,300 graduates nowadays till date. Those are practicing all over the world actually, and the maximum number of the students are practicing in the United States. Okay, knowing the fact, none of the students can practice in the United States without passing the USMLEs. Okay, so and getting into the residencies as well. So that's the exact figure that he is asking, that how many students are already there in the system. Okay, so we have around 2,300 graduates actually, those are practicing. Okay. And the moment you look for the system over here, it basically, I think Mr. Shah already explained about the whole programs. So I'm not going into the details of the programs, but the few things that we initiated here in the Spartan, now we are encouraging more and more extensive exercise to for the better performance of the USMLEs. Okay? I can say now the very first batch of our Indian students completed the MD5, okay, and they were around 16 of them, okay, and we are pretty much sure that out of 16, 14 of them they are going to clear in the first shot the USMLE step 1. We are drilling the rest of the two a lot. We are holding them here for the another 2 months so that we can prepare them properly to write the step 1. Okay? So that's how we usually support all our students to get into the target as soon as possible. The problem that we sometimes face whenever the students delays the timing, okay, to take the exam, whenever they are not confident to take the exam. So that's where we usually try to drill them maximum so that they are going to have the such kind of the confidence and write the exam and pass it. I'm telling you, if you are going to study, it's not a hard exam. It's a human being, it's a student, those qualifies the exam, and you do have the same capabilities to qualify the exam. I was very proud with the one of the students, I think Mr. Shah must remember last year when I came to India, we met him actually, and he was a little bit with the lower percentage, okay, and I was surprised. Even at the time of the admission, I was a little bit doubtful whether he is going to perform and what he is going to do. And he was arguing for the scholarship and everything. And I'm pretty much satisfied now. This guy is scoring honors in all the subjects. Okay?
Wow.
Okay? And I can name him actually, if Mr. Shah, if you don't mind, so I can name him here.
Yeah.
Do you want me
Sir.
to name the student?
Sir, one more question which is common. There is somebody, he has not written the name here, but they want to enlighten more on the CAM HP.
Yes, CAM HP is the regional body, and the process of the CAM HP usually goes for the 7 years. Okay, that's a standard CAM HP document that says the 7 years of the process of the accreditations. Okay, we went through with all the process. We got in the first attempt. We never got rejected. We never got any false reports or the warning reports. Okay, we got into the provisional, and then there was an actually delays from the CAM HP sides, okay, in the visit actually. So they extended us for the 1 year, okay, because that was their fault. They haven't visited us in the stipulated period of the time. So we got the 1 year extension from them because of the good credit, and then again they visited us, and at that time they found the one problem with our administrative hierarchy, okay, and that's where they again gave us the 2 years provisional conditions. So that's going to end in the December 2018, okay, that's ending in the 2018. Now we submitted all our documents. Again, we are waiting for them to visit us and give us the full accreditation. That's the normal routine process. Once you are approved, you got into the system. Like all the students can understand how the MCI approval goes in India. They usually goes every year, and then the formal approval continues. Okay, so this one is the same things is happening with us also. So we are in the last phase. Again, if we'll get the full accreditation, okay, that's also because none of the university is going to get the full accreditation for the whole life. Okay, everybody will get for the 2 years, 3 years full accreditation as well. So after 2-3 years of the period, they have to again go through with the visit and get the extension for the another 2-3 years. Okay, so that's a continuous process, and we are not worried about that one. That's okay. We are going to have some problem with the accreditation. because we sorted out all of our issues, and now we are in very good positions with the CAM HP as well. Okay? So I can assure you on that behalf, that's okay. Don't worry about the accreditation. We are going to have that CAM HP.
I sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I already gave them the ECFMG 2023 regulation and the connection with the WFME and the CAM HP. I told them about that. So I think with your answer, they should be very clear about the entire concept now.
They need to understand. I was listening you and you were telling about the CAM, what a school supposed to choose. My simple question to all the students, CAM HP is the 7-year process. If any of the school is going to start the process in the 2018, 7 years means 2025. That means they are not going to fulfill the requirements of the accreditation by 2023. Okay? So this one is the one thing that they need to understand.
Sir, there are something which people are not asking, and I want to ask you so that because many times it so happens that people don't know what they should ask you.
Yes, yes.
One of the major thing is the clinical rotations, sir. Where do we give clinical rotations, first of all?
Okay.
Secondly, second question, that some students get afraid that why Spartan is not there in New York and California and 2, 3, 4 states. So how is it going to affect their career? So these are the two standard questions that we come across, which I don't find it on today's question bank at all.
Okay, let me say that one. Okay, the first question where we are going to give them the rotation. The rotation that we have currently is in the Las Vegas, we have in the Baltimore, we have in the Miami, okay? We have in the Atlanta, and we have in the Chicago. Okay? So these are the places where we have our affiliated hospitals. Okay? Those are the teaching and approved hospital by the LCME, okay? ACGME, sorry. Okay? So these are the places where they are going to do the clinical rotation as of now. Okay? Now, looking towards the number of the students that we are getting in from the last 2 years with the help of the Mr. Shah, now we are moving ahead for the Arizona as well. Okay? So we are already in the discussion with them, and we are just looking for the big batch to come in. Okay? Because the moment we select the rotation, you need to understand, no matter you are going to do the rotation or not, but the school have to pay the fees to the hospital. Okay? So that's where we are in the discussion. We are literally we are in the final stage. Everything. The moment we are going to get the bulk of the students, we will finalize the deal, and we will move on with the accreditation, with the rotation. Now coming to the second question that you asked about the New York, California, Kansas. Okay. Now initially Spartan used to offer the pre-med program and then the MD programs. Okay. New York, Ohio, and Kansas, California, they usually don't accept the students from the pre-med. Their minimum requirements to get into their system, the student must have the BS degree. Okay. And now what we did actually with that one, New York was a little bit flexible with that one. That's where we applied, and we are still in the process of that one because the results haven't came out yet. Okay. Now what we did, the moment we started with our Indian students, we started the program of the BS. Okay. Now after this one, the moment we are going to look for the 3 batches, those are going to be complete, the BS program, and then complete the MD. Okay. Because they need the 3 batch records. Okay. So as soon as they are going to 3 batches are going to complete, we will apply for the California, we will apply for the Kansas, and we will go into the systems as well. Now coming to the third, how it's going to be affect. Okay. It's not going to affect any of the students because the US system says even if you have only one state accreditation, any of the state accreditations, okay, you can go and get the license in that state, and then after doing the couple of the years of the practice over there, you can apply for the rest of the states also for the licensure. So your practice is not going to be affected. Okay? The only thing that's going to be affected here in the California, in the Kansas, and in the New York is your clinical rotations. Okay? So it's a part of your medical study. Okay? The clinical rotations have nothing to do with your residency, with your practice in the US. Okay? So we have at the other places where you can easily do, get the degree, apply for the residency and get into the system. Okay? We have so many of our graduates practicing in the New York, so many of the graduates. Now this California got open for us. Okay? Our 4 of the graduates actually now they are practicing there. Okay? So it's only for the practice is not going to be banned anywhere. The data that is available, we are not accredited by those states. That's why we cannot allow our student to do the clinical rotation. That's the part of the study. It's nothing to do with the residency. Even you can get the residency in the New York, California and the other states as well. Okay. And the third thing that usually come, mostly the Indian students, they ask this question. Okay. These are the states, those are considered as an most expensive state for the study. Okay. I know the most of the students, those came here already, they ask the question us to directly, and the moment we give them the sheet, okay, of the cost of expenditure, okay, even for the clinical rotation, if you are going to do the clinical rotation, not the doctor shadowing, not the observership, original hospital clinical rotation in the New York itself is going to cost you $16,000 per trimester minimum to the hospital. Okay. So that means if we are going to charge, we will charge you around $20,000 per trimester. Okay. So we have so many criteria to look where we can fix our students. Okay, students want the cheaper option. Students want to get into the US system, and students want the best option to get into the residencies as well. So looking towards all the situations, we usually goes for these states where they can get the maximum success actually. Okay? So the whole structure is framed to get the maximum success, not to get into the lavish places or the places where you can have the more fun. Okay? I know that everybody loves the New York. Okay? Everybody loves the California. Everybody wants to go for the look for the Hollywood. Okay? That you can visit. Okay? But the moment your parents have to bear the cost, you are going to charge by the double amount for the same rotation, and you are not going to have the chance to get into the residency as well. Because the living of the standard, the students those are doing the rotations over there in the New York, in the California, they are going to be much higher than your standards. Okay? So you need to understand your reality, and you need to look for the way how you can get into the US system. Okay? The first thing, California, look for the highest MCAT score. Okay? And you know the basic, the MCAT, highest MCAT score success is the 2% in the California for the US citizen itself. And now you can calculate yourself where you are going to stand. Okay? So these are the things we usually look. Okay? So it's not going to affect whether you are doing the rotation in the California or in the Miami or in the Michigan state or any of the lower state like the Louisiana. Okay? Any of the states you are going to do, get the license, you will get the license to work in the whole US. There is a ways, we know that rules. I hope I answered everything.
Sir, there is one more relevant question which I appreciate from Gauri Sharma, and you can throw the light on that, which will clear a lot of people actually. Could you share the list of hospital affiliations where the clinical rotations would be held if I study in Spartan? That is one question. And second question is from Bhargav, which has been answered by you in an extensive way, that how do I come to New York after I study at Spartan? Akash Patel is one more question. How many students are going to share a room in hostel?
Okay. The first question you asked about it's about
from Gauri Sharma. Yeah.
Gauri Sharma. Okay. And that was about
That was the list of hospitals where the clinical rotations.
I can share the couple of the hospitals names. Those are in my mind right away. We have the Larkins Hospitals in the Miami. Okay. We have the Weiss Memorial in the Chicago. Okay. We have the Harbor Hospital in the Baltimore. We have the St. Martin in the Baltimore. Okay. And Las Vegas, I don't remember exactly. The 3 hospitals are there in the Las Vegas. Okay. But these are the few names. Those are currently in my mind. Okay. So I can share that one. Okay. But I can get the list of the hospital and I can share with Mr. Shah, and then he can share with all the students, those who ever want. Okay. Now the second question: how many students are going to share the hostel? Hostel has the various options. Okay, and it has the different slab of the payment. That's where in general we can say the 2 students shares the 1 room. Okay, and that 1 room is going to come with the fully furnished rooms. Actually, that means it's going to have its own bathroom, attached bathroom, and the beds and separate cupboard, everything covered. Nothing is sharing. The only thing that you are going to share is the room, the space. Okay, so that's how it's going to be the hostel accommodation.
Okay, okay, sir. I think thank you, sir. And there is one more question. Okay, okay. I think I have almost actually by the time you joined, I had completed half of the questions, and then okay. Do we have to bring our own books, or Spartan University will provide us for such study?
Okay, we usually provide the soft copy of each and every books. Okay, and that's going to be available in each and every classroom. You will get the PowerPoint for the studies, as well as each and every faculties will provide the latest edition soft copies in the classroom computers. So if you are good to study with the laptops, with your tablets, you will get everything free of cost. There is nothing to buy anything. Okay? But if you really are very hardcore reader of the on the hard copies, then you need to buy, you need to bring. Okay? We do have the library. You will get the copy of all the textbooks, but it's going to be issued for the time to time. Okay? So you are going to have the limited period of the time, maybe for the 5 days, 10 days, you are going to be issued the particular textbook.
Okay, perfect, sir. Sir, I think today people are asking for. There are lesser questions than I expect. I think I am asking relevant questions. There is one more question which is coming to my mind, sir. I have kept a PPT slide on the computer right now. Okay. And it is in comparison with if somebody studies in private college compared to what would be your on the quality, what सर आपने इतने सारे स्टूडेंट्स देखे हैं ट्रांसफॉर्म होते हुए, क्या सीखते हैं, कैसे चेंज होते हैं, जब आप वो बच्चे नेक्स्ट ईयर आते हैं इंडिया में तो हमको मिलते हैं पूरे बदल के भेजते हो यहाँ पे
ऑब्वियसली।
सो ये जो है इंडिया का जो प्राइवेट कॉलेज है ऑलमोस्ट उतना खर्चा में अपना स्पार्टन पे यूएसएमएल स्टेप 1 का प्रिपरेशन एंड देन मूव इनटू ट्रांसफर इनटू क्लिनिकल रोटेशंस यूएस में हो रहे हैं। ये दोनों प्रोग्राम को कैसे कंपेयर करोगे? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू? यहाँ पे भी उतना ही खर्चा है प्राइवेट कॉलेज में और स्पार्टन में भी खाना पीना रहना ट्यूशन फी सब कुछ मिला के मोर और लेस उतना ही खर्चा है अगर स्कॉलरशिप बच्चे को मिली तो, अदरवाइज खर्चा बहुत बढ़ जाता है। सो आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट द स्टूडेंट हैज गॉट अ स्कॉलरशिप, he has a budget of 70 to 80 lakh rupees and the same amount he has to spend in private college. How would you compare the two programs, sir? Where would you and why do you think?
The first thing that I'm going to compare is the level of education. Okay? If you look your slide that you have, I'm just emphasizing on the cost for the PG. I think in the private college in India, you are going to pay for it. Okay? Am I correct? Rupees 1 CR.
Okay.
And if you look for this one, the moment you are going to do the PG in the US, you are going to get the same amount in return. Okay. So that means you are going to earn that approximately 1 CR with our system, okay, instead of spending. So I'm going to save, in a broad way I can say you are going to save your 1 CR and you are going to get the return of the 1 CR. So it's a benefit of the 2 CR for you. 1 CR you are saving and 1 CR is getting returned. Okay. So your cost of a whole study is going to be beneficial if you are going to spend the 75 lakh rupees in your MBBS, and if you get into the PG and start earning the money and you are getting in return 90 lakh rupees, that means you are in the benefit, the whole cost is going to be zero. Okay? The first thing. The second thing, as I mentioned, the level of the educations. Here the system is the accelerated programs, while in India is the extensive programs. Okay? So you are going to study the whole things actually in the MBBS and then the PGs. If you look for the whole tenure of the time, it's basically the length of the time of your life that you are going to devote to start earning the money. You are going to spend around 9 years of the times or the more than that, okay, in the Indian system, no matter it's in the private college or in the government colleges. Government colleges you can compare with the price is the major. But the timings is the one that by that time you will be done with the PG and you will be start practicing in the US. Okay. Now looking towards the third aspect, competition. Yes, that's the correct data. Okay, that you put. In the private colleges you have the 130,000, while PG actually the competition is the around 65,000 annually every year actually. So you can see the level of the competition in the US system is very less in comparison to the system where you are competing to get the one seat actually. Okay. And seats are just 9,000. Okay, and you are saying definitely now this year they increased another 4,500 seats. So it's going to be now the 39,000 seats. Okay. So and the another data that I shared earlier also, that this time the percentage of the IMGs, those who got the residencies, is much higher in the last 20 years. Last 13 years, I think, 13 or 15 years. Okay. So that's where I can see that somehow the IMG success rate, IMGs means the international medical graduate, those are doing outside the US. Okay. They are getting into the system with a higher rate. Qualifications, again, top ranked in the NEET PG, as you are saying, that's true. Okay. While in the USMLE step 1, 230 plus, but we have seen the students actually where the student used to get the residency with the 220 to 222 also. Okay. So it's not a 230 plus is the one standard benchmark that they have set. But if the students are going to get involved in the so many activities, in the research activities, in the scholarly activities, they usually get at the marks of the 220 also. Okay. Infrastructure, definitely you are going to get exposed to the US system, and we know the US is considered as an institution, is the best infrastructure, best facilities are provided, and that's why we usually see even any student who joins us on the island for the first year, the moment they go back, you are going to see a huge changes in their standards actually. Okay? The standards of the talk, standards of the communication, yes, standards of the demand as well, because they think everything as per the US standards. Okay? And because we try to provide everything as per the US standards, sometimes the cost goes higher actually. Okay? So it's up to you or to all the students, we can say what they want. They want the standard of the life, or they want the routine life like everybody is enjoying in the India. Okay? So if you have the vision to have something to do with the standard of the life in the US or in the any of the 5 countries, actually we can say in the Canada also nowadays the residency positions are getting open. So most of the students actually they got the residency in the Canada also this time. Actually 5 of them of our students they got into that one. Okay? So that's where the positions are opening, and there is huge opportunities for each and every one. Okay? Sometimes the question comes from the students that what's going to happen if I'm not going to get the residency. Okay? Your career is not going to end. You can take the 1 year break because it's usually the annual selection. If you didn't get the residency, you can join the 1 year research program immediately in the US, increase the weight on your CV that you have the 1 year of the research experience, and you will get for sure next year because you are going to have the 1 extra year of the research experience as well. So that's how we usually don't encourage any student to leave the hope or quit from the system, because ultimately sooner or later each and every student is going to get into the US system. Okay? The only problem that comes if you had made up your mind, no, I have to just finish and go back to India and do the practice. So we usually struggle with those mindsets only. Okay? So that's where if you have, you will definitely get that one, that we can promise you. If you are going to follow our instruction, none of the students are going to go back to India to practice. Okay? That we can say with the utmost authority again. I think I did maximum things, Mr. Shah.
Sir, there is one interesting question.
Yes, sure.
One, probably the last question that you can take, because you had given me the time of 8:30 Indian time. It is 8:22 now over here. So just 7 minutes left, 8 minutes left. I want to ask you two questions. One is from Gauri Sharma.
Yeah.
Okay. Could we repeat USMLE if we don't get the expected score? This is the first question. Okay. And the second question is नेहा सिंह. अब सर नीट का रिजल्ट अभी 5 जून को आ रहा है, 3 दिन बाकी है इंडिया में. प्रोबेबली यू मे नॉट नो द नीट रिजल्ट्स, ठीक है ना. तो सबको अभी डर है कि अभी क्या होगा हमारा. तो चक्कर ये है, दे आर थिंकिंग ऑन द नेगेटिव साइड. सो दीज टू क्वेश्चंस आर नेगेटिव बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू मेक इट क्लियर टू देम. ओके. I will repeat the first question from Gauri Sharma. Could we repeat USMLE if we don't get the expected score? That's the first question.
The
And
answer
second question is from, yeah, sorry sir. Let me finish the second question if you allow me.
Yeah, sure.
That is from Neha Singh. She's asking, what about those who won't be able to pass USMLE somehow? I have already shown them before you joined us, sir. I already shown them that 96% of the students who appear for USMLE step 1 pass through. There is no problem. The challenge is not about passing the exam. The challenge is about 230. That is the average score that you need to bring to reach up to PG. One last thing that I must tell everybody before you can answer, sir, that the only countries whose PG is valid back in India is English speaking countries, and out of that 99% of the students go to US for their PG. So you all must understand that when you can earn up to 1 crore rupees, 1.5 crore rupees as a postgraduate, I am just putting it average salary for a US physician of a US. This figure is something which is probably unheard of. An average Indian student earning $2 lakh a year, which works to almost 1 crore 40 lakh rupees, okay, in 1 year, is something which you must understand. In India, only the topper reaches the PG. In US, 230 marks matlab PG. ये फर्क है. But sir, the mic is over to you. These are the last two questions probably we can take up. If you have more time, we'll be happy to have it, sir. There will be more questions.
Okay, that's good. I'm looking for the first thing is like she was asking about the USMLE step 1. Okay, USMLE step 1. If you pass, you can take second time. Okay, there is no chance. Okay, that you can repeat the exam and improve your grade. Okay? If you are failed, you can retake the exams. Okay? But that's why I was telling, even if you pass the USMLE step 1 with the lower marks, you can say with the average marks, there is nowadays a few things that's opening nowadays. You have to get involved in the other activities to increase the weight on your CV. Okay? and that's where the most of the students they started doing as well. Okay? They start getting involved into the research, they start getting involved into the conferences, they do get involved in the poster presentation. So that's why they are increasing their weight on the CV with all the activities, and it's helping them a lot actually to get into the residency system. Okay? So remember, the residency system doesn't say that we are not going to take the bottom liners. Okay? Those are just pass. You become eligible, but the probability with the lower marks is going to be less. Okay? So how you can improve your probability to get into the residency system? There is a certain ways, okay, by which you can increase your some of the academic profile, and then you can get into the systems as well. Okay? And the second question, so like you were saying about the NEET things, okay? We know the situation in the NEET is really very questionable. Okay? And that's where we were in the discussions, okay, how they are going to get the set. And I don't want to comment on that one because that's not our jurisdiction to talk about with the Indian system. Okay? So this one is the basic aspect that we need to understand. Okay? Here we do have the 3-4% of the students, or you can say those are not going to qualify the step 1. Okay? It doesn't mean that they are going to block their careers. Okay? There is a way by which they can get into the system also, but those ways are not the way for which you came out from the India. Okay? So you need to understand, the moment you are focused, you are looking for the systems. Okay? Don't look for the negative thoughts, okay, that you are not going to qualify the USMLE step 1. USMLE step 1 is hard, but it's cracked by the students only. Okay? And that's why I was giving the example that we have the 16 students, 14 of them, they are for sure they are going to qualify, and luckily I can say out of 14, I think the 10 of them are came through Mr. Shah only. Okay? That was the first batch. Okay? 4 of them they came from the south actually. Okay? So 14 of them for sure they are going to qualify. Okay? 2 of them on which we have the doubt. Students don't have the doubt, but we as a faculty we have the doubt. We are drilling them a lot. We are asking them to stay back with us, where we are going to drill them more, teach a little bit more lesson, so that they can improve themselves and come to the maximum marks actually. Okay? So that's our jobs. We usually drill them. Okay? Yes, Mr. Shah, hand over to you.
Yeah. Sir, there is one last request from me before we part. It's 8:28 now in India. Next time, मे बी सर, एक तो पहली चीज मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है कि सर ये एक महीने में एक बार नहीं चलेगा, आपको वीकली आना पड़ेगा. दूसरी बात,
I fixed the schedule. I think Mr. Amit was telling that you fixed on the every Thursday.
Yeah, and secondly, sir, when there are so many students who have already applied for Spartan for September, they all are wishing to speak with the students as well. Of course, we have put them across to the parents in various parts of the country from where they are applying. But they also want to speak to the students. So, if possible, in the next webinar, if some of the students can also present their experience about Spartan and how they are moving, that would be a great help for all of us.
Today is the Saturday. If you are going to have that seminar on the Thursday, so I'll be in the school. I can call any of the students and they can sit with me and they can speak to all the students.
Perfectly all right, sir. Perfectly all right. And I hope everybody got what they wanted out of this session. I'm really thankful to you, Dr. Pandey, that you could spend some time with all of us. And I must also thank all the listeners to this for this webinar. They have taken out almost 1.5 years. This is probably one of the larger webinars that we have conducted. We started almost 7 o'clock, 7:05 we started, sir, Indian time, and it's 8:30 now. And I must thank you all. we will be back. हम पांडे सर को वापस रिक्वेस्ट करके लेके आएंगे. Next time we can have some students also. They can share. Let's increase the interaction between the past students, current students, and the applying students, the new students. That will enhance the confidence in the mind of the student that I can also do it. If so many people are doing it, there are more than 200 people currently studying over there. This year we are expecting another 100 to go. So it will be a large, Caribbean is not such a large place, but there will be a large number of Indians already over there.
Yeah,
So
sure,
with this note, I just thank all of you once again and see you sometime else. I will be wrapping up the session right now. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.